Hey guys, I've never really made a video before other than makeup tutorials, so please bear with me because I might be a little bit awkward. But I'm a super big horror movie fan, and right now we're all stuck in quarantine, so I'm going to be going over the best horror movies, in my opinion, that are on streaming services right now. I'm going to do two videos, so this one's going to be Netflix and Hulu because they're paid for subscriptions, and then I'm going to do one other video that's going to be on Crackle and Tubi because those are free streaming services. So let's kick her off, shall we? So for Netflix, I just wanted to give an honorable mention. First of all, I don't know who's going to be watching this, if you're already a big horror fan or not. But if you're not, you should definitely start by watching Carrie. It's a great movie. It's about a younger girl. She has like telekinesis powers. I don't know if that's a word, but I feel like it probably is. And it basically just goes south real quick, but it's really good. It's on there. Child's Play is also on there, or you might know it better as Chucky. There's a couple Final Destinations on Netflix as well, along with Scream and Evil Dead. If you haven't seen Evil Dead, it's one of my favorites. It's Bruce Campbell. It's more of like a comedy horror, but it's definitely worth checking out. And then I have a big list of my favorites that I feel like a lot of people probably haven't seen unless you're really into the horror field. So, Train to Busan. I'm gonna try to make like a thing pop up here. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but if not, I'll just point at the air and you guys will know what's happening. Train to Busan is one of my favorites. It's South Korean. It's a zombie film. It's basically about like a father and daughter that are trying to survive a zombie apocalypse, but it was really emotional and it was really well done. So if you haven't seen it and you can handle subtitles, I would definitely check that out. Number 2, I have Hush. So Hush is great. It's about a girl who is deaf and basically has a serial killer guy kind of stalking her at her place. I feel like this was really interesting because it wasn't just your average slasher film. It was more in depth because she can't hear anything. So it was really cool to see that from somebody who can't hear's perspective. Next, I have The Invitation. I don't have these in any order, by the way. These aren't like ranked best to worst. I just kind of threw them all down on here. But The Invitation is kind of gave me like Jim Jones vibes. It's kind of like a culty flick. It starts out a little bit slow, but don't give up on it because once it pops off, let me tell you, that shit gets real, okay? The Ritual is another one that starts out kind of slow, but it's really good. It starts out with these guys in the woods, and then some weird things start happening. I feel like it was kind of witchy, with like kind of monster movie vibes as well. So definitely check that out. Don't give up on it in the beginning. Keep it going because it's worth watching. Next, I have Insidious. Again, if you're a big horror movie fan, I'm sure you've already seen it, but if you're not, you should definitely check it out. The only thing that really bothered me with Insidious is I don't like horror movies where they show too much of something. I feel like it totally kills like the scary aspect of it once you see things over and over and over again. It's like, okay, you just become kind of like immune to it. I worked at a haunted house for a while, and that was like the biggest thing was if you jump out in front of somebody, don't stand there. We used to call it lurking because I feel like you're just like, okay, great, you're in my face now. So now I know what you are and now I'm not freaked out anymore. So that was the only thing with Insidious. I felt like halfway through the movie, it got like a little bit campy, but it wasn't supposed to be a campy movie. So that really like bugged me out. Otherwise, I love Insidious. And as we go further in, there's a couple other streaming services that have like the second and third one, but we'll get to that later. Autopsy of Jane Doe is pretty cool. It was kind of like your typical paranormal weird stuff starts happening in like an autopsy movie, but I feel like it had like a little bit of a twist at the end that I really liked, and I feel like it was done pretty well. It wasn't too like cheesy. The Ring is on there. My roommate and I just watched that again recently because she was really freaked out by it when it first came out in like, I think 2002 probably. Yeah, we were little when it came out, but we just rewatched it. And I mean, I don't think there's any movie that's done like The Ring. It's really good. I will always be a Ring fan. So if you haven't seen it, pop on there. Should I be pointing again? I guess I'll just have them like flash up next to me. That'll be fine. It's gonna be great. The Girl with All the Gifts. I don't know too many people who have seen that. It's kind of like a zombie disease apocalypse movie, but it's a lot different, and it's with children. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was done really well. I think it takes place in like Great Britain. So if you have a chance, check that one out. I put Horns on here. It's with Daniel Radcliffe, so it's kind of like watching Harry Potter in a thriller, but I really liked it. Basically, he like starts growing horns, and these people think that he murdered his girlfriend, and the whole time he's actually trying to find the person that really did do it. So that one was really good. Stonehurst Asylum, I actually jotted this down because I didn't know this, is based on the short story of The System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather by Edgar Allan Poe. Jim Sturgis is in this, and I love him. It was really good. It was kind of just like your mental asylum movie, but I don't know. I feel like they went a little bit further with it. It's kind of like twisty. So that one was good if you're into that kind of thing. The Last Exorcism is a found footage exorcism movie. I can't really say too much about it, other than it's an exorcism movie, but out of all the exorcism movies I've seen other than The Exorcist, I feel like that one was probably done better than the other ones. I don't know, some people hate found footage, so if you do, don't watch it, but I kind of felt like because it was a found footage, it kind of felt more like you were there and it felt more real. I threw Gerald's Game on here. I don't remember it that well. There are some on here that I'm kind of like, I think it was good. But it's basically like this girl's tied to a bed and is trapped and can't get away. Hi, Bub. And it just gets weird. It's like the whole time she's trying to get off the bed, and there's like a stray dog that comes in and all kinds of weird stuff. So that was definitely worth checking out. If you're bored and you don't have anything else to do. Hello. The Vault, I don't really know if that's considered a horror or a thriller, but that was really well done. It's about like a bank owner, and it kind of gets like paranormal. The bank's getting robbed, but then weird things start happening. I don't remember who initially told me to watch it, but I had it as a recommendation, and it was pretty good. So pop that on your to watch list because it really was pretty good, especially for quarantine. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is awesome. It's a horror comedy. It's fantastic. I loved it. It has like the perfect balance of like comedy and gore. And then I also have Rosemary's Baby on here. That's one of my absolute favorite movies. It's a little bit slow, so if you can deal with a movie that's a little bit slower, but creepy and satanic and everything else, that's definitely a good one. So moving on to Hulu, I have Cabin in the Woods. I don't know why some people really didn't like it. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I thought it was great. Even like the beginning of the movie, the words come up on the screen as like the title. That scared the bejesus out of me. And Chris Hemsworth's in it. So I mean, like, you need something to look at, like, pop it on. I can't say too much about it other than there's teenagers in the woods in a cabin, but it's not like a regular slasher movie, and the ending is really twisted, so that was a little bit different, and it was very refreshing. So A Quiet Place I put on here as well, just as like an honorable mention. I don't really consider that a horror movie, but it is a monster movie. It has John Krasinski in it. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's Jim. If you're an Office fan, he looks beautiful, and I really recommend. That movie was great. 28 Days Later is on there. Another one during the pandemic, totally worth watching because it's extra creepy since, like, I know we're not in a zombie apocalypse, but, you know, there's still some aspects of that going on, I guess. Zombieland is great if you're looking for another comedy horror. Woody Harrelson's in that. I absolutely adore him and highly recommend I feel like it cheered me and my roommate up when we were watching it. If you're having some depressing moments during the pandemic, I would definitely pop that one on. The Host is another South Korean one. South Korea really be out here with the horror movies. Let me tell you, they know what they're doing. It's kind of like a Loch Ness Monster, kind of water monster movie, and it's another father and daughter. I really, really liked it. Highly recommend if you can deal with subtitles. And then speaking of subtitles, The next one I have is Let the Right One In, and they have Let Me In on Hulu. So Let the Right One In is the Swedish original version. It's about a little boy who's getting bullied and he falls in love with a vampire. The American remake, I believe, is like almost exactly the same. It's just, you know, in English. Misery is on there as well. If you're a Stephen King fan, definitely check that out. Basically, this woman kidnaps this guy and it's real crazy, and I'm not going to get into too much detail because I feel like I don't want to ruin anything. Odd Thomas is another one that I really enjoyed. That's more of like a supernatural kind of like trying to stop the apocalypse movie. It was a little bit emotional. I think I cried when I watched it, but it was really good. And then I put Mom and Dad on here too. So it's a Nicolas Cage movie. We love Nick. And it's basically about all these parents that just like go ballistic and start trying to kill their kids. So it was pretty good. Texas Chainsaw Remake is on Hulu. It's not the original, but I still really liked the remake. So that is on there if you're a gore horror and you're looking for something like that. And then can't forget Troll 2, one of my favorites. Definitely a cult classic. The best, worst movie of all time. It's absolutely horrible, but it's so good because it's so bad. So if you have not seen Troll 2 and you consider yourself to be a horror movie fan, please get on there and watch it immediately. You will not be disappointed. It is terribly amazing. So that's it for my Netflix and Hulu review. I guess let me know if you liked it. I don't know. You can be honest. You can tell me I suck. It's fine. I get it. Like, you know, we're all just out here trying to like make videos and talk, and it's weird. Nobody likes talking to the camera. So leave a comment below. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see or hear me talk about, and I hope you enjoyed.